Would you hit the brakes if you had a skid mark partner? Let me explain. A 24-year-old woman recently asked Reddit for relationship advice about her 29-year-old boyfriend and his habit of not wiping very well after using the bathroom. She wrote, to sum it up, he leaves skid marks in my bed when we are together. Sometimes they're not dry. I find them after he leaves, and because I have light sheets, it's kind of obvious. I really need to talk to him about this, and I don't want him to feel bad. What should I do?
Skid marks on the sheets?
Skid marks. Oh.
That's wrong right there.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, well, I want to commend her for caring about his feelings, but she is letting that man in her bed. That must be some good sex. I've never had that kind of sex before.
Doctor, I couldn't have put it better.
I'm just saying. Now, if you have a medical issue, you have to talk to your partner, and y'all can work together to come up with a solution, but she said she put her hand down and it was wet once.
Oh, I am disgusted by this whole topic. First of all, the first thing you need to say is, please wear some drawers while we sleep at night. I mean, no one should be sleeping buck naked if you're leaving skid marks. Now, having said that, he could have an incompetent anal sphincter.
You got to tell people that. You got to talk about that kind of stuff.
29 years old?
He may not know.
That's a long shot.
Well, you can have, you know, he might have a big hemorrhoid down there. You know? You can have a big hemorrhoid.
Why are you defending this dude? You know what?
This Reddit user was actually my wife, Drew. It's me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, how about helpful hint?
You're going to get in trouble for that one.
Maybe some wet wipes next to put as a
by the toilet.
If you're in a relationship with this person
next to the bed?
No.
How about just wear some boxers
in the bathroom? If he's not wiping properly, maybe he has.
But I think
loose stools.
There's a leaking problem going on here. The only way you leave skid marks consistently like that is if you have a bit of a leakage problem. And I'm not trying to get too serious here, but I've taken care of plenty of people who've had problems. And when you have leakage, you have to take extra steps because one of the toughest things to deal with is relationships, intimacy, and it can happen. But the first thing you do not do, if you notice, and it could be just because you have a big hemorrhoid. You have a big hemorrhoid there, the sphincter doesn't close perfectly. It can kind of leak. First of all, you have to wear. Wear something.
That's a theory.
Wear a diaper.
I mean, if this.
Somebody said a diaper.
If
Not
this
a bad
guy
idea.
is worth the effort,
it's
all about communication.
Yeah, just communicate.
Talk to the guy.
But I love that she is so sensitive.
Grab him by the hand, walk in, look at the sheets, and go, "Did you do that?" Bad. Did you do that?
I mean,
well, you and I are gonna have a little talk.
I love it, but if that guy, Bella, if you are watching, this woman loves you. Like you have a good one.
One of my problems when we talk about these topics, I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else is like this, but I can actually start to smell it.
Nope.
Right?
I can't.
And it's a problem.
You smell it?
I don't like that I can, but it's,
That's weird.